Take a look at these buildings behind me. Every single one of them has been completely destroyed. And the only reason for all this devastation is the ongoing war.
The entire city came under attack last night. Over 500 drones and dozens of missiles that have left over 28 people injured.
Oh man, honestly, just standing here is terrifying. Look at the state of that building. It's already 2026. You'd think the world would have moved past this by now. But even here in Europe, if you look at the life of this young kid, what is it even worth? He says he has no idea when his time will come. His commander told him that he might not survive this. Now, his only purpose is to fight because it's the only way he can stay alive. He got quite emotional when he met me. He even took the patch off his own uniform and gave it to me. One moment he's giving me chocolate, the next something else. It feels like this man hasn't experienced kindness in a long time. It's heartbreaking that even today, we humans are still so intent on destroying one another. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm starting my final day in Kyiv, the capital and largest city of Ukraine. It's Saturday today, and I've just checked out of my old apartment. You can see some of the views of the city from the apartment. You could see a mix of modern buildings and these old Soviet-era houses right outside the window. The balcony overlooked the main road, and there were great views from the kitchen too. If you've been following my videos, you already know that I've been traveling through Ukraine with my friend Navankur. But his visa expired a day before mine, so he had to leave Kyiv yesterday. Today I'll be traveling solo from Kyiv to Lviv, a city in the western part of the country. My train to Lviv leaves from the central station in about 2 hours today. Every single day since I arrived in Kyiv, I've seen this same car parked right here. Behind it is Independence Square. You can see all the flags. I've shown you that place a few times already. My Airbnb was incredibly central, right in the heart of the city. Anyway, I've booked an Uber. It should show up any second now. My ride should be around here somewhere. There's the bus stop. A few buses are going past there. I wonder if my Uber is stuck behind them. The area feels strangely empty today. Usually it's packed with people. Since it's Saturday, I guess most people are in their homes and relaxing. It'll probably get a lot busier by the evening. Look at this. There is a protest happening here at Independence Square. People have gathered to honor the martyrs, the soldiers who lost their lives in this war. Their photos are displayed everywhere alongside the national flags. So you might probably be wondering why I just hopped out of the taxi in this random spot. The reason is these buildings next to me. Look at the state of them. They've been completely wrecked, and it's all because of the ongoing war that has torn everything apart. The constant strikes on Ukraine, missiles and drones have left these structures in absolute ruins, leaving them empty and broken. You can see the debris and broken bricks spilling out onto the street. These destroyed parts are covered up with giant posters. But behind those posters, look, almost every single window in the building has been blown out. And how did this happen? A massive explosion. There was a blast nearby. The shock wave shattered the glass in all these buildings. Look up there. The missile strikes and explosions have left these homes and offices filled with nothing but broken glass and silence. Look at that building across the street. Same story. It must have been a hall or some kind of complex, and now it's just an empty shell of what it used to be. It's just as bad on the inside. I think there was a bank here once, but a missile or drone strike completely wiped it out. Just look at the building right in front of me. This looks absolutely devastating. This is unbelievable. The level of destruction here is just unreal. You don't even know where to look. You'll find scenes like this all along this entire street, stretching for blocks. Look inside there. Every window is shattered. At first, I had no idea what this building used to be, but now that I remember, I think I read about it somewhere in the news. It was a Ukrainian government office. A direct missile hit just completely demolished the place. It's incredible to see the actual toll this war is taking. An attack came out of nowhere from the sky. A missile exploded, and the entire structure just collapsed. And it wasn't just this building. Look up at that one too. Some were hit directly, while others had their windows blown out by the force. You can see fans and air vents just hanging from the ceilings inside. Everything is completely shredded. The damage continues all the way down the street. This building is completely lost. There are more behind it that we can't see yet. I'll turn left here so I can show you the back. The back is even worse. In fact, the UK Visa Center is right behind here. There were some brand new residential complexes on that road too. And now they've all been caught in this destruction. The impact was massive. Let's go take a closer look. I hope it's safe. There's absolutely no one around. Not a single person on this road. No security. Nothing. Look at that, guys. It definitely looks like this building must have been the main target. Honestly, it's even chilling just being here. Look at the state of these buildings. The damage is just incredible. The walls have turned black because of the fire. And look at those AC units just smashed and hanging. All those AC units are completely trashed. It's the same story for every building as far as you can see. Man, look at the destruction. Just take a look at this. This is all that's left of the building. There's a busy road right nearby with cars passing by. Plenty of people are going about their day. But no one seems to be walking along this stretch. It's like people don't even want to look at it. They try to ignore it because it's just too depressing to see this ride in the middle of the city. This is the reality of the missile strikes in Kyiv. Like I said, these were government buildings where officials once worked before they were reduced to empty structures. They say they try to avoid harming civilians, which is why they focus on government offices and justify attacking these sites instead. But obviously, when you hit a massive building like this, all the surrounding structures are going to be affected too, and the people nearby suffer as well. This is truly a tragedy. I've already shown you the damage on the upper floors of this building, and that's just one side of it. Let's see if we can get around to the back, because I know the road behind here took a heavy hit as well. And look at the contrast. There's a McDonald's right across the street. There used to be banks here. All of them are shattered now. I showed you the one that was completely destroyed and boarded up. Every bank on this street is closed and completely out of service. This is a major, normally busy street that would usually be full of activity, but now all the buildings along it, the banks, the offices, and the commercial spaces are shut down. Here's another shop or some other business, which also got ruined. But then, right across from it, there is a market that's still open for business. People are out shopping and buses are running. It looks like a normal busy day at the local market. But directly across the road, it's a completely different story. They've boarded everything up so you can't see the destruction inside. This must have been a shop at one point, but now it's reduced to nothing more than a pile of rubble and debris. There's broken glass scattered everywhere, covering the ground. Even the bus stop, where people used to wait for their buses, has all of its glass panels completely smashed. There's a building right behind the bus stop where some of the windows have been replaced, but many are still broken. This bus stop, and look at the building behind it. The Ukrainian flag continues to wave over the ruins. The AC units are just hanging off the wall. And look at the upper floors. Just look at the condition of the building. I have no idea if anyone is even using this building anymore. Some parts look okay though. I think they might have replaced some of the glass because with this much damage nearby, there's no way it survived untouched. You can see where they've cleared the glass and boarded it up. Look at this neighboring building. All its windows were shattered too, so they've covered them up. The actual impact site is just a bit further down. We just came from that direction. That tall building over there, even though it's quite high up, all its windows were blown out too. Now we're heading to the other side. Honestly, if you're in Ukraine, my advice would be to stay as far away from government buildings as you can. These places tend to be targeted more often, and being nearby can put you at unnecessary risk. They must have rebuilt this bus stop recently. I'm certain it was destroyed before, but it looks brand new now. It's starting to rain now. And look, it's the same thing on the other side of the road. This building, which I believe is the UK Visa Application Center of Ukraine, has all its windows completely blown out. Every window of the building appears to be shattered. There are some large buildings across the street that look like they were still under construction. They probably weren't even finished with the work, but the blasts hit them anyway. The rain is really picking up and my train leaves in less than an hour. I should better get my umbrella out. As I was grabbing my umbrella, I caught a glimpse of the back of this building. I'm heading towards the road behind that government building now, just to get a closer look at what it's like back there. But you can see the scale of the destruction right here in central Kyiv. Interestingly, this section was also hit, but they've already managed to rebuild a lot of it. They're moving quickly with the rebuilding efforts. The rain has suddenly turned into a downpour, so I'm taking cover while I try to call a taxi. The traffic is at a standstill because of the weather. It's a total mess out here because of the rain. I just hope my ride actually makes it. Alright guys, I've reached the station, but I have no clue which entrance I'm at. My train leaves in just 10 or 12 minutes. First, I need to get on that train. I actually wanted to tell you guys more about the war, but I can't right now as we're in a rush. Let me just get inside first because I still have to find the right platform. Wait, I definitely did not use this entrance before. Last time was a different one. We came from that side over there. That's where we exited. Let's see if I can find it. Wrong way. It was definitely not this one. This must be it, I think. Okay, I'm in. My train should be listed here. I think it's track 11, the one that's departing at 1:19. Yeah, the board definitely said track 11, so I'm pretty sure that's the right one. I haven't actually checked my ticket properly yet to confirm the train number, but my departure time is 1:19, so this should be the train I'm supposed to be on. This is track 5 and 6. Only 7 minutes left, just 7 or 8 minutes until it departs. Is the elevator working? Come on, man. Who knows when this thing will show up? Come on, man, please. Found the stairs? Should better use them. This is it, finally. Car number 3. I need to board the third coach. Alright, finally made it. I honestly thought I would miss my train today, but somehow I made it. 24 is my seat number. Let's find it. So guys, I made it to the station. I'm on the train now and we're already heading from Kyiv to Lviv. As you saw, I showed you how the buildings in Kyiv were completely devastated. You saw the aftermath of the strikes on Kyiv and across Ukraine. The sheer scale of the destruction caused by this conflict. But beyond the damaged buildings and shattered streets, there are lives that have been disrupted on both the sides. In the city, even the UK Visa Center was hit. That building was completely ruined. Beyond that, the main government offices were hit as well, along with the surrounding residential areas, leaving much of the neighborhood completely destroyed. Before I tell you what just happened here on the train, I should also mention that the cost to repair Ukraine's damaged infrastructure is estimated to be nearly 525 to 550 billion dollars, highlighting just how massive the scale of destruction really is. Yes, that's right. Over 500 billion US dollars. That's the estimated cost required to rebuild everything from the ground up and to recover the resources that have been lost. Honestly, I have no idea when or if that can even happen. Anyway, with those images still in mind, I finally reached the station. I've been to several war zones before, and I've seen what conflict can do to entire cities. Compared to Syria, for instance, the destruction of buildings there felt even more widespread and overwhelming. But no matter how severe the damage looks, you can't put a price on a human life. Every life matters equally, no matter where someone is from or what side of a border they're on. Whether it's lives lost here or in the neighboring country, a life taken is always a tragedy. And in this day and age, if we're still intent on destroying each other's lives, you really have to ask, what's the point of all this progress and all these years of innovation? Anyway, I finally got on the train and settled into my seat. While exploring Kyiv, I kept seeing soldiers everywhere. Some were on leave, some were heading to the station, and something similar happened when I finally boarded this train. The person sitting right next to me in the upper bunk is a soldier in the army as well. That's the main reason I didn't record anything at first. I wanted to be respectful and avoid drawing attention. So instead, I stepped outside for a bit to look at the other trains and the platform. But whenever I came back to keep and check my bags, he seemed genuinely curious about who I was and what had brought me here. He doesn't know or speak any English at all, so he used his phone to translate and explain that he was in the army, and then asked where I was from and what my reason was for visiting. When I told him I was from India and that I am just traveling, he got really interested. This soldier is actually younger than me. I later asked and found out that he's only 21. He started sharing his life story with me using a translation app on his phone to explain what he had been through during this ongoing war. I asked him where he lived and where he was heading. He told me that while he's in the army, his home is in the Donetsk region, and that entire area has been completely wiped out. He said his house was destroyed by the enemy, and showed the images of his destroyed home. He has no home left, no place to call his own. He literally doesn't know where to go. He had a brother 3 years younger than him. He was only 18 and lost his life in this war just a few days ago. He passed away in combat. He told me he doesn't know when his time will come. He thinks he might be gone soon too. His commander even told him he might not survive. Now that he has a leave for a few days, he has nowhere to go. So, he's heading to western Ukraine, towards Lviv, just like me. He says he might try to rent a room or something there. He only has 3 days of leave and nowhere to spend them because his home is gone, leaving him with nowhere to return to during the short time he has off. Now, he says his only purpose is to fight. It's a do or die situation for him, because that's the only way he can survive in this war. Then we sat for a very long time talking. He then started showing me photos and videos on his phone, images from the front lines, of the enemy, and of the friends he had lost along the way. It was the kind of material you'd never normally see anywhere else. He also showed me buildings and neighborhoods that were destroyed. He had recorded all of it himself while serving on the battlefield. There were fallen soldiers from both sides, a reminder of how heavy the cost has been on the lives of soldiers. He even showed how they attach explosives to the word on the screen. So yeah, he showed how explosives were attached to these and how they were then carried and dropped on these of the enemy. He also showed me recordings from the battlefield where soldiers were operating various pieces of military equipment. I'm being careful with my words here so people around us don't realize what we're discussing. But for them, this has become a part of their daily life. It's normal now. People here hear the news about war every day. The people here see soldiers coming and going constantly, moving through the cities at all hours of the day and night. Their army used to be relatively small, but it keeps growing as more people continue to join the army. Look at this kid, he's only 21 years old. Instead of studying or enjoying his youth, his entire life is consumed by war. Even if he survives this, just think about the trauma he'll carry with him for the rest of his life, long after the war and all fighting has ended. In his 20s, he's seeing things no one should. The bodies of friends and enemies on the battlefield. Sometimes, no one even comes to collect the bodies because it's just too dangerous. He's experiencing this at an age when he should be in school, playing sports, or traveling the world with his family, something he may never be able to imagine now. And his brother, who was just 18 years old, is gone now. You can't help but ask, what kind of life is this? It's 2026 currently. If this was happening a century ago during the World War, maybe it would have been a different story. But it's 2026. Look how far the world has come. Yet here in Europe, this is what this young man's life looks like. And it's likely the same on the other side of the border as well. There too, young people like him are going through the very same struggles. Meaning, countless young lives are being caught up in this conflict that they never chose. It's genuinely heartbreaking to witness. Just imagining that the person I'm talking to today might not even exist if I tried to find him again later. The odds of that happening are painfully high, and he's younger than me. It's not like he's 70 and you can expect him passing away naturally. He's just so young, with so much life ahead of him. At any moment, a bullet, an explosion, or a grenade could end his life, along with the lives of countless other young people on both sides of the border. Just thinking about it is absolutely devastating. Right now, he's just sitting here next to me. We meet so many people while traveling, and usually we just move on. Normally, there's a chance you might reconnect. You have their contact and could call to see how they're doing, or perhaps cross paths again in a different country. But in this case, the probability and likelihood of never seeing him again is very high. He got quite emotional talking to me. He actually took off his unit chevron from his uniform and gave it to me. He mentioned that it was stained with the blood of his closest friends on the battlefield whom he fought alongside. He showed me things in his phone that I simply cannot include in this video. It was all incredibly sensitive material. And honestly, it's been pretty difficult for a person like me to process. I was just completely stunned by what I was seeing in that moment. I can't even bring myself to describe some of it because I think it would just be too traumatizing for you to hear. But amid all that, he was offering me chocolate and being so kind. It felt like he hadn't experienced any warmth or, affection in a long time, given what he's going through. When I showed him a little kindness, he really opened up. It's unreal. This same person sitting here is out there fighting, using a weapon, and he is destroying military vehicles and buildings. It's honestly just a completely different person sitting here like this and what he's actually doing out there. And he told me that for as long as he lives, he'll have this memory of us. And he asked me for something to remember me by. I reached into my bag and gave him a 200 rupee Indian note, just a small piece from my home. I just handed him a single banknote, which really wasn't that big of a deal to me, but when he saw the Indian currency, he was so happy. I can't explain it, but it was such an intense, overwhelming feeling on this train. I thought I'd just sleep through the entire journey, but I can't even process everything. Like what is happening in the world today, man. It's okay, good. Thank you. We're almost at the station, so I've tidied up the bedding. You have to fold the sheets and return them here. I've already folded up the mattress as well. We'll be at the station in about 10 minutes, and my soldier friend is also ready to go. Hey, where should we take the picture? I've just arrived at the Lviv train station. As soon as I got off, you saw how the soldiers were reuniting with their families. Their families were there to pick them up. I said my goodbyes to everyone. By everyone, I mean the soldier I traveled with and other soldiers. He introduced me to all his military friends, telling them I'm from India. They were all so warm and friendly. We used translation apps to chat since they didn't speak English. They all gathered around to smoke and invited me to join them. Everyone was so excited, especially those whose families couldn't make it or those who were heading further. My friend and his buddies ended up hanging out with me for quite a while, and we honestly had such a great time just chatting. Even though they didn't speak any English, we still found ways to talk, mostly through gestures and by passing the translation app back and forth. I was sharing my travel stories with them. They kept smoking and even offered me a cigarette, but since I don't smoke, I politely declined. We ended up just standing there in a circle at the station for quite a while, sharing stories and just talking. Before I left, I shared a message with them. I told them that I truly hope the next time I visit Ukraine, this war is finally over and peace would actually return. I really hope that one day soon we won't have to fear for our lives anymore. I told them that I'm honestly just hoping they all get the chance to live normal, peaceful lives again very soon. And while leaving, I said,
Дякую, іду пробачення.
I know my pronunciation was a bit off, but it means thank you very much and goodbye. Finally, we're outside the railway station. It's night here in Lviv and it's getting quite cold. It's 8 p.m. right now. Lviv is actually a major city in western Ukraine, not far from the Polish border. You don't see as much destruction or many attacks here because it's closer to Europe and quite far from Russia. As soon as I stepped out of the railway station, a girl approached me speaking Ukrainian. I told her I didn't understand, so she switched to English, saying she's a street photographer and offered to print a photo as a souvenir for me. But I told her I didn't have any cash on me. She said I could pay by card, Bitcoin or PayPal. Basically whatever worked for me. But I thanked her and declined. I'd already had one taken in Kyiv. She spoke English very fluently and was really good at marketing herself. Unlike some other places I've been, her English was excellent. I unfortunately had to turn her down on the offer though, because I've already gathered more than enough souvenirs for this trip. I even told her I was completely broke, with no cash and nothing on my card. But she told me that I looked like a millionaire. I laughed and asked how, since I'm just a backpacker traveling with 2 bags and no money, I'm just a guy on a budget. Anyway, I wished her the best. Now, I'm at the tram stop waiting to head to Lviv's city center. The station is about 4 or 5 kilometers away from here. I luckily managed to get a place booked while I was still on the train, which makes things a lot easier. So, the plan now is to just hop on the tram and head straight into the heart of the city to get settled. And there goes my tram right in front of me. I was supposed to take the tram with number 9. I got so caught up in filming that I missed it. It's a shame. It looked like a great tram. Now I have to wait for the next one. Another one has pulled up now. It's number 6. I think this one goes to the same place. Let's just hop on. It's completely empty. I'll try paying with my Visa card. Let's see. What language is this? Okay, the payment went through. The tram is virtually empty, just a few people are sitting, all the way in the back. I've taken a spot in the front compartment. It's a good thing I tapped my card as soon as I got on, because a ticket inspector just came by with a machine to check. He scanned my ticket through his scanner and once he saw that everything was valid, then he said, "Kharasho,"